begin with breaking news.
J.J. McCarthy is set to undergo knee surgery.
New quarterback J.J. McCarthy sidelined after a knee injury that will require surgery.
J.J. McCarthy in surgery.
No! Knee surgery.
No!
Surgery.
No!
To repair a torn meniscus.
Minnesota Vikings crying on the field.
Yeah, it's not good, Minnesota. And this was me on Monday, full of optimism. I actually think he had the best performance of any of the rookie QBs and might start earlier than anyone outside of Minnesota expected. And we now know it was unfortunately the worst case scenario for JJ. His surgery was a success this morning, but the tear required the full repair and he will be out for the entire season. JJ did take to Twitter to reassure Vikings Nation he'll be back in no time and confess that he loves fat women with his sign-off, Amor Fatty. Don't we all, JJ? Don't we all? Will Levis is my new hero, and a Browns rookie was charged with domestic violence from an incident from Monday. I'm gonna break it all down today. It's a good old-fashioned news episode here on That's Good Sports. I am your fake sports anchor turned legal expert, Brandon Perna, and I'll have Patreon and YouTube member fantasy football info for those leagues at the end of the episode. So if you're a $20 a month member waiting to join those leagues, watch the whole video or skip to the end. I don't care. Today's episode is sponsored by manscaped.com/goodsports. Now, sometimes I think Manscaped is spying on me because 6 months ago, I would not have known what a scalp buffer is. But Manscaped just dropped the perfect upgrade to your hair washing routine with their scalp buffer. Now, if you watch GPS or my live streams regularly, you know I've been a little paranoid about some thinning hair I got up here. I bought a different scalp buffer months ago to rub my head when I wash to remove dead skin and to help stimulate the follicles of my hair by trying to increase blood flow to my scalp. I was researching this stuff while simultaneously making appointments in desperation with my dermatologist. Now, the bristles on the buffer enhance shampoo penetration for more foam and less product use. That's nice. I've been using Manscaped shampoo already for years, and I wish I would have been aware of a scalp buffer decades ago because I also had dandruff, which is because we have dry ass air here in Colorado, and the scalp buffer helps get rid of the dry ass skin that comes with that. I use it in my beard too. Plus, it just feels good. So, use my link, manscaped.com/goodsports to get 20% off, plus free international shipping, and get the best scalp buffer I've ever used. And I haven't been using them very long, but this one's the best. Let's begin with serious legal news. That's right, Chiefs defensive hero Chris Jones has offered to pay $1.5 million for stolen chicken wings. Chicken wings that were stolen by an Illinois school worker named Vera Lydell. Lydell managed to order an extra 11,000 cases of chicken wings in the Harvey School District from October 2020 to 2022, and then proceeded to, quote, run a criminal enterprise of black market chicken wings. She pled guilty and has begun serving a 9-year prison sentence. And while I applaud Jones for wanting to cover her wing expenses, keep in mind, these wings were intended for local kids who were going to school remotely during COVID who still needed school meals at home. So while we might want to paint this woman as a saucy hero, she was exploiting something designed to help kids who needed a fucking meal. Now, I'm assuming one of those children was Jackson Mahomes, so this was hurting Chris Jones' own teammates' family members. One of the most needy children in all of the NFL when you think about it. Now, 9 years seems a little much. And if you're wondering how much chicken that is, Aiden fucking Rich did the math for us on Twitter. That's 321,000 pounds of chicken wings, more than the Statue of Liberty weighs. Hell, that's more than the entire Chiefs defensive line. Now, the Cleveland Browns. stop me if you've heard this before, took a chance on a guy with some major red flags. I'm talking about rookie defensive tackle Michael Hall Jr., who is charged with domestic violence in Ohio after allegedly threatening a woman with a gun just this last Monday night. ESPN had this snippet from the police report in their article detailing the arrest. According to a police report, Hall grabbed a handgun during an argument, pressed it against a woman's temple, and threatened, "I will effing end it all. I don't care." Now, I'm not going to read the details of the full report because, frankly, they piss me off. But the violence did not stop there. The Browns have obviously been made aware of the incident and are in the process of gathering more information, and we know they'll be thorough. The NFL contacted the Browns, and here's the best part. The NFL will be reviewing the matter under the personal conduct policy. Imagine Deshaun Watson walking into the building, seeing the personal conduct team there, looking at the Browns. That motherfucker is Abe Simpson going into the brothel. And yes, the NFL has a personal conduct task force. They all wear matching uniforms and they have very limited power. If formal charges do get filed, he could be suspended for, well, nobody knows how suspensions actually work in the NFL anymore. The worse the accusations and or crime, the fewer games you get suspended for is, I think, what happens. And don't worry, Browns fans. If you think threatening to kill someone while pointing a gun at their head will prevent that person from getting in key practice reps, you're wrong. Mike, back at practice like nothing happened today. Now, the thing I found interesting is apparently everyone knew Mike Hall Jr. had some serious character issues, and many teams were surprised the Browns took him at pick 54, as many teams flat out took him completely off their draft boards. I mean, just look at all of these character flaws. Undersized, lacks height, weight, length, issues as a run defender. Gross. Who wants to hang with that dude? But at least the Browns are consistent, right? I think a man needs at least 30 character flaws. Or maybe even worse, the Browns are as good at doing their own research as Aaron Rodgers. In positive news, Browns news, and positive Brown news, JOK got a new 3-year deal worth $39 million, $25 million guaranteed for the linebacker, and a well-deserved payday for a solid player. Jeremiah Owusu-Koramoah is lucky that the Browns didn't give that money to Mike Hall after they learned he got arrested, because we all know they really, really wanted to. Now, if you're thinking the money seems a bit low for JOK, you're right. This is a good deal for the Browns. Looks like that JOK is on him, because with a clean criminal record, there was no chance Cleveland would pay him max value. Now, for a massive shift in gears, Will Levis dropped a new commercial for his new Mayo-themed cologne in what I am calling the single greatest ad of our generation, the kind of ad that would get Don Draper to come out of retirement.
They try to define you, but you are the ingredient to your own success.
I don't even like mayo, but I'll never fucking touch mustard again after seeing this perfect commercial.
Luscious, eggy, smell like greatness. Will Levis, number 8, Parfum de Mayonnaise.
And yes, I just dropped my life savings on Will Levis to win MVP because I am the ingredient to my own success. Now, if you don't know, Will Levis famously puts mayo in his coffee. Last year, Hellmann's Mayonnaise took full advantage and made Levis a spokesman with this fun commercial.
It's not every day that someone offers to compensate you in mayonnaise. I'm proud to officially announce that I've signed a lifetime supply of Hellmann's contract.
But this Parfum de Mayonnaise commercial is next level genius. This is better parody than I have seen on SNL in the last 5 years, and as much as I love CJ Stroud, Trevor Lawrence, and Anthony Richardson, fuck them all. I'm a full-blown Levis man now. I tried to buy that Parfum de Mayonnaise, by the way, and it's sold out. This shit is brilliant. All right, look, I know it's just one preseason game, But I bought in. I bought right into the JJ McCarthy hype. I support McCarthyism. You can't spin it any other way. He was good to very good. And I, as a Broncos fan, was like, oh shit, maybe Denver should have moved up for JJ. The throws he made while getting hit. That's not what a guy who needs to sit a full year looks like. The Vikings have some incredibly talented ball catchers for JJ to throw to. A luxury of playmakers, if you will. Everything was looking good for Minnesota. But then it was reported JJ had some soreness in his knee. And we all thought, oh, that's probably not a big deal. His body is just getting used to throwing the football more than 4 times per game. This is part of his development, training muscles he's never used before. And then we learned he needed surgery to repair a meniscus tear. Then we learned they won't know how bad the tear is until they get in there and do the surgery, which leaves JJ's knee with 2 possibilities. Possibility 1, the surgeon performs a partial meniscectomy, which is where they trim the meniscus and that somehow helps it. I guess the meniscus is like a tree or a bush or some shit. That was the best case scenario, and since we're talking about the Vikings, they were only fated to get the worst case scenario, and with the full repair JJ received, he now faces a 4 to 6 month full rehab and recovery period, which means he will not be playing at all this season. Vikings fans basically experienced the kind of bliss that comes with losing your virginity, and less than a week later learned they're going to prison for 1 year, where there is no good sex.
JJ McCarthy, the great Purple Hope.
And now they're stuck with Sam Darnold keeling over and vomiting every time he sees a fucking ghost. I should note I got my medical information from Matthew Betts, a fantasy expert. Hey, if you want the best recovery odds, see what a bettor tells you about injury recovery time. Now let me say this. This fucking blows. Like most people out there, I want to see the best quarterbacks playing football. And I thought JJ put himself in a position to start a lot earlier than expected. And as soon as I got excited, he was taken away from me. Multiply that feeling of betrayal by 1,000,000, and that's how Vikings fans are feeling this week. Some people are saying, well, the plan wasn't for him to play soon anyway, so this doesn't really change much. That's wrong. Very wrong. Those people don't understand curses. Minnesota cycled through QBs last season the way I go through Manscaped blades. This is perpetuating a narrative they thought they had just trumped. Even if JJ was going to be able to return this season, he was going to miss roughly 2 months of practice, or at least live reps, all the things you want your rookie doing to develop. So while there was a short window of optimism, even within this tragedy for Vikings fans, the reality of JJ being ready to go after that 4 to 8 week window was unlikely, as his development would have been stunted due to the rehab. That's me trying to take the sting out of this for you, Minnesota. It's August, and in 1 week you went from this is our year to there's always next season. No fan base deserves that. Not even the Chiefs. That said, I am still high on Sam Darnold. Or maybe I'm just high saying shit like that. And now Vikings fans just need to pray. Not that JJ makes a full recovery. He's young. He will be ready to rock in 2025.
And JJ will be back. This is a meniscus? Minor.
But you need to pray to every god there is. You guys have pissed off one of them, and you need to cover all your bases with all of your football prayers, because he or she keeps smiting your team. Practice every religion, make every prayer, and rectify this curse for your team. Speaking of cursed quarterbacks, Colin Kaepernick is making his annual claim that he's training and ready to return to the NFL. We all know it won't happen, but I respect the tradition of this being tweeted literally every August, and I hope this continues until Kaepernick turns 80. Now, the fantasy football drafts will be held here on Sunday, September 1st. There are 2 leagues. I will add a third if those fill up quickly. And these are ESPN Fantasy League standard PPR drafts. The draft times on Sunday the 1st are at 9 a.m. and 10 a.m. Mountain Time. We do this every year, and it's for all $20 a month Patreon and YouTube members. The info to join is on Patreon now. The links are there, and they're also on the community tab for all appropriate members. I do this for $20 members because one time I did it for, I think, 10, and it was just way too many fucking leagues. So I do 2 leagues, 3 if the demand is there, but that's all I can manage. I've got to put effort into these since you guys are paying for them. I appreciate the support. Now you have the info.
Parfum de mayonnaise.
If you don't want to pay for shit, just subscribe here on YouTube. That's still free. I'm still free. Oh. Get better, JJ. Get better.